Well, hello, welcome to another video. Today's video, hopefully we will finish the Mini Cooper in a few hours. I'm just prepping, but in a few hours this thing is going into my mechanic. I kind of backed up with other projects and this one has been on the back burner, but as you guys can see, we have a donor motor, very similar miles, so hopefully this one won't go out like that one did. But strapped down, I'll have to restrap it down, and then we are towing it to my mechanic. And I am anticipating once it's all done and ready to go, I'll be roughly around $2,500 into this Mini, which is half, maybe even more than half of its retail value. And honestly, I do well with Minis, and they are a ton of fun to drive. Haven't had any issues with them. This is the first one with, I guess, a major issue. We're replacing the engine on it. But they are fun. They are great. And I am excited to get another project kind of on the road, done with, sold, and move on. Because I'm in this business to make money, not to sit around on cars. But unfortunately, sometimes it happens when you get a few cars that need work, and then everything kind of piles up, and yeah, that's how it goes. So in a few hours we will be heading out to my mechanic, dropping this thing off, because right now traffic is super heavy, and yeah, I'm not interested in towing in heavy traffic. Well, things didn't go as planned yesterday, and if you guys have been following the channel, this actually happens quite often. I have plans to do something, and then something else comes up, and then something else comes up, and I more or less run out of time. So it is a new day, and we are heading to my mechanic. It's actually like 6:40 in the morning or something like that. Got my oil. The only thing I forgot to purchase was an oil filter for the new engine. But I am going to restrap it a little bit better, and we are going to hit the road and finally get this project going. I'm actually very excited to drive this car, given everything goes well with the new motor. Honestly, these cars are a ton of fun to drive. They're super quick and nimble, and I mean they turn really well, and they're fun, and I haven't had one in a while. So very excited to get this one going.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I have made it to my mechanic's place. Let's take a look. Let's get this thing unloaded, unstrapped, unloaded. And I have no idea how we're gonna do this because it doesn't run and drive. So we'll see, maybe I'll have to back up further. But look, this Prius, what is this? Oh my goodness. I cannot with people who do this to cars. Started to unload this thing. We kind of got stuck right here. So we're gonna see either more manpower or use a fork. So we'll see. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone to kind of record this stuff, but it is what it is. Okay. I guess that didn't work either. We're doing it the bad way. Okay, little Mini is unloaded. Engine is right there. Mechanic said he will try to start on it today, but if he doesn't get to it today, then it will most likely be next week. So we'll see what the progress, but at this point it's out of my hands, more or less out of my mind, and I can go continue to do other things. But hopefully this thing will be ready to go, ready to rock and roll, ready to be enjoyed, and ready for the next owner.
1 week later.
The day has come. I am at my mechanic's shop. I am here to pick up the Mini Cooper, and I am leaving the Ford Escape because this one also needs work. He is on his way back. Anyways, motor has been swapped. I replaced a whole bunch of sensors, camshaft, crankshaft, spark plugs, oil change. We even did a transmission flush on this thing. So I am hoping that it's gonna be good, that there's not gonna be any issues, no surprises. I'm planning to drive it home to my house. That will give me, 20 miles of driving or whatever. And I will get to feel, how it drives. If everything is good, then probably tomorrow, day after, it's gonna go in to get detailed. And then I can list it for sale and hopefully get it sold quickly, get some money, buy something else, rinse and repeat. So we're gonna wait for my mechanic to get here and then take a look at the Mini Cooper. Here we go, guys. First drive. Yeah. I am low on fuel. That's why I didn't really want to take the time to go around it, show you guys. Probably just do that at home because the gas light is on and I don't want to get stranded anywhere. So heading to the gas station, then heading home, and we'll do a quick walk around if I make it with no issues.
Little longer than a few minutes later.
I am almost home, but we have transmission issues. Between like first and second, and then sometimes second and third. The car ain't happy. And it'll have hard shifts between first, second, third, and then hard downshift from second to first. Okay, right now it was fine. Say 4,000 RPM. Well, there it goes into second. Now it just went into third. Okay, this downshift was fine. Now let's see how we'll do upshift again. So that's from a stop. 4,000 RPM. So that was a softer switch, but it was way late. It shouldn't be going to 4,500. And then again, second to third was super quick. Oof. Maybe you guys caught that jerk again. Yeah, the car basically, man, it ain't happy. Engine seems fine. And once you kind of get up to speed, it holds it. I went close to 90 on the freeway and it seemed totally fine. But it's just that first, second, third, and then 2 to 1. Gonna do some research, but honestly, guys, if I need to replace the transmission on this Mini, I'm just gonna be so deep in it. Maybe at that point I'll kind of break even, but like, is it worth it spending all this time and then selling it just to break even? And sometimes it's just better to cut your losses and kind of move on. So we'll see. I'm gonna do some thinking. Yeah, I don't know. But no good unfortunately. And on a side note, what are the odds of getting a car with engine and transmission issues? I've never had that happen before. Bad luck.
3 weeks later.
Guys, I will be totally honest, I'm not sure where I left off with the Mini Cooper. The last clip I think I took was probably 3-4 weeks ago. And I think I told you guys I'm done. Probably either sell it as is or take it back to the auction. I didn't give up. I was doing a lot more research, reading about it. And turns out for these Mini Coopers, they have a somewhat common issue with the valve body that's in the transmission. So I ended up buying a remanufactured, basically rebuilt valve body. It was like $380. And I took it back to my mechanic. He pulled everything apart and he goes, look, I don't know why, but transmission fluid is kind of dirty. So either, when he originally did the transmission flush and the valve body had old transmission fluid in it. Although the weird thing is, these cars, they're supposed to have lifetime transmission fluid. You're not supposed to change it, as far as I know. I might be wrong, but from the research I've done, that's what I've gathered. Anyways, got the new valve body replaced. I drove it home last night from my mechanic late at night, like 8-9 p.m. It seems like it runs perfectly fine. So before, on a cold transmission, it would shift perfectly fine, no issues. I'm assuming once the fluid would warm up, viscosity would essentially change a little bit, and that's when I would start to feel harsh kicks in second, third gear, essentially. But when he was doing this job, he said he looked at the discs inside the transmission and he said they look great. He didn't notice any issues. Again, the drive from his shop to my house is like 20 miles. I would have felt it by now. I didn't feel any issues. Of course, I am going to drive it more to make sure there's no issues. But I think this Mini Cooper is just about ready to go. So what I am planning to do right now is actually just clean off a few minor things, whatever I can. Maybe put on this trim. I don't know, just very, very minor things with it. The other thing actually I do want to check, the power steering is very, very tight. And these cars typically have tight power steering, but not this tight. And when he was working on it, he's like, I noticed that the power steering fluid was pretty low. So that will be another area that I will check. Oh, and I don't remember. I think it had bad hood struts. Yes, and I never replaced them. So I am going to check the power steering fluid, and I know this one takes a special power steering fluid. Just that, so when tomorrow I go to the lot, I can order whatever I need for it. Hood struts, power steering fluid, whatever minor stuff, but I don't even know the numbers. I'm afraid to go through the numbers. I think at this point I'm kind of looking to make maybe a few $100s on this Mini, which is unfortunate. You know, a car with transmission and engine issues, I've never had that happen. That sucks. And I know these Minis could be problematic somewhat, but guys, I'm telling you, they are so fun to drive. They're like super nimble. For their size, they have decent power, especially, you know, the S with the supercharged engine. I will continue to buy them. And I do have a plan down the road at some point, buy one of these and build it. Essentially do like full bolt-ons, exhaust, wheels, I mean, whatever comes to mind. Just because I genuinely do enjoy these cars. They are a ton of fun. They are a pain in the rear to work on because obviously everything is super, super small and minor. But as we sit, we have a rebuilt valve body. We have a new battery in this thing. We have a new engine, but an engine that works. New spark plugs, new fluid, transmission fluid, and essentially it'll get detailed, cleaned up, a few minor things, and it should be good to go. I'm very happy that it's drivable and I can actually, you know, start using it now. But man, what a journey. I still have to clean off a whole bunch of stuff, like all of this, which actually might be a slight pain in the rear to do, but I'll figure that out. I'm just happy that mechanically it's sound, but this I'll have to take out for sure because it's actually in my line of sight when I drive this car, and these zone parking, they're not applicable to our area since this came out of Seattle. But guys, we are coming to an end. We are coming to a very, very tough purchase. I mean, imagine, I bought this car with fees for like $625. Super, super cheap. And with my math, I mean, just really, really rough math, I've put probably $2.5 grand in it. So, I mean, multiple times over my purchase price. But I don't know. Was it worth it? Who knows? We'll see once I sell it. And once I sell it, no, I think regardless, I mean, the labor that it took, you know, when you, I guess, calculate hours that were put into this thing, I don't think it was worth it. But it is what it is. We're here and we're going to wrap this thing up. So I'll do a few more checks off video and hopefully in a day or two show you guys the complete clean product, and then let's get this thing sold.
Several days later.
Okay guys, the weather changed. As you guys can see from when I started the finishing up Mini to now, it is, but Mini Cooper is done. It's all clean, detailed and everything. And honestly at this point I still don't know how much I'm in it. I'm afraid to look, but I want to say it's roughly like 3.5 grand, just rough numbers. And I have it listed for $5,500. It's listed on cars.com, cargurus.com, and comparable Mini Coopers. So essentially, from my understanding, the way that they pull values is they look at other dealerships who have a similar Mini Cooper, meaning the same generation, similar miles, and if there are any, and they compare your pricing. So this one is actually listed like $1,500 under market value. Again, comparing it to the other dealers. So I'm hoping I get to move it quick. It's fun, it's great, it's nice, but it's taken up a lot of my time. I've probably had that Mini for 2 months now. Obviously I wasn't working on it the whole time, the whole 2 months. But I want to get my money out and kind of forget about it, move on to something else. I still absolutely love these cars. It is crazy that this one had engine and transmission issues. That is very, very uncommon and very unlikely. But I've been long enough in this business that I have encountered a whole bunch of crazy stuff when it comes to cars, and this is one of those. But I will not stop buying these Mini Coopers because, like I've said, they are a ton of fun. I really enjoy them. They sell fairly well. I mean, they're very put together. Like, look, this Subaru WRX STI, so this is top of the line. It has full bolt-ons, got it tuned, conservative tune, I think 14 PSI. It's making a little under 330 wheel horsepower, so it's a fast car. For me as a daily driver, I'll take the Mini Cooper. Subaru, yeah, it makes the right noises. Yeah, turbo spools, it kicks in, it feels great, it's fun. But the rattles, the cheapness inside, like you can tell a Japanese product versus a European product. The Mini, very buttoned down, and you would think it's super low, low profile tires. I mean, similar to this, but it absorbs bumps and everything. Anyways, I would take the Mini Cooper over a Subaru, even though Subaru is, 3 times more expensive, 4 times more expensive. It's just my preference. I like very well buttoned down and engineered cars. This is not it. The Ford Escape is not it. German cars, European cars, that's where it's at. So I want to say thank you for joining this journey. Very long journey in my opinion, although for you guys it was a short video, but I appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. I hope you consider subscribing if you are not a subscriber yet. I'll see you guys in another video.